Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Patrick Dang here. So in this video, I'm gonna show you one of the most fastest and effective ways to do B2B sales prospecting in the modern world. Now, if you've ever done any type of sales prospecting, you know that it's gonna be time consuming, it's not fun, and a lot of times it's really just a lot of manual labor. And you can spend all this time building the perfect dream customer list. And even when you cold call these people or you send them a cold email, 95% of the time they probably are not interested in talking to you. But fortunately, if you are using the right sales prospecting tools, the first thing you're gonna be able to do is find the right people that you wanna actually reach out to. And the second thing you can do is make sure that they are actually interested in purchasing your products and services today. And to show you how all of this works, I'm gonna be using one of the most powerful B2B prospecting tools out there, which is DNB Hoovers. So with that said, if you are ready to learn some of the best and effective ways to do sales prospecting, let's go ahead and dive in. And if you're ready for this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's go ahead and dive in. Now, the first thing we're gonna talk about is the fastest way to find the hottest prospect. And so for a lot of people, whether you're a sales rep or sales manager, a lot of times your salespeople are going to be going after cold leads, meaning you're calling up people, you're sending them cold emails, they have no idea who you are, so the likelihood of them actually taking a meeting with you is not very high. You can still do it, but it takes a lot of effort. And so when I first started my career at Oracle and later joined a Y Combinator-backed startup, here's how I did it in the past. I would think about, okay, who's my ideal customer? And then I would make a big list on an Excel sheet, try to Google, top e-commerce companies or top whatever companies and make this big list. Then I would have to go on LinkedIn and find all the decision makers at these companies. And then I would have to use another tool to actually find that person's contact information, whether it was their email and phone address or whatever the case is. There were so many different steps I had to take before I was even ready to make that one phone call. So the entire world, especially if you're in sales, is going through a digital transformation where if you're using the right tools, you can actually just eliminate all of this manual labor and just go straight into finding the right people you want to talk to and actually selling to them. So let's go ahead and dive into DNB Hoovers so I'll show you one of the fastest way you can actually find hot prospects. All right, so right now we are in DNB Hoovers, which in my opinion is one of the most robust and accurate places where you can get prospecting information, especially when it comes to getting accurate contact data, whether it's email and phone, right? Let's say I'm going for people who are in the education space. So I can actually type in education in here and it'll have the pop-ups underneath, and I could go to browse as well. Also look for education over here, click on what kind of options that they have. So let's say I'm going for professional management training and college and universities, and let's go ahead and go to miscellaneous education services. All right, so we got a couple filters so far, but let's say we take it a level deeper. And then let's say I wanna go after people who have at least 1 million in revenue, more than 1 million. All right, perfect, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I would press view results. So what's gonna happen is that DNB Hoovers is going to show me all the results of people who, or companies that have 1 million plus in revenue and are in the education space. And as you can see, there's gonna be 1,702 results, right? And so I can kind of scroll through here and look through all the people that I wanna talk to potentially, right? Let's say I want to prospect into Coast Community College District, okay? What's gonna happen is when you go into a company, you can see all the contact. Not only do you see the company in this area, but you see all the decision makers. So going into the contacts, what's gonna happen is it's gonna populate and it's gonna be all the people that I may want to talk to, right? And of course you can filter these down by, let's say, what role they're in, like marketing, or if you're trying to sell some IT. And so what's really great about this tool is that you can quickly add all the contacts that you wanna reach out to onto a list and either save it as an Excel sheet or actually create an integration directly into something like Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. So for example, if I wanted to talk to the president of this company, let's say I wanna talk to the vice president and then the senior director, okay, great. And then I would just go to add to list, and then I could put, education, California, add to list, and then what's gonna happen is going to add these contacts onto my list. The beauty of all this is that you're able to quickly find companies in a specific geographic location, a specific industry, specific revenue size, and there's so many different other filters that will help you find the right people a lot faster, and you can save all these people just like that onto your CRM or an Excel sheet, or put it on an Excel sheet and export it somewhere else, whatever your workflow is, and so you don't have to go to all these random websites and go on Google and go on LinkedIn and find an email tool and find a phone tool. DNB actually has all the emails, has all the phone numbers, extremely up to date compared to everything else. I've used tools in the past which are okay, but a lot of times when I'm sending out the emails, a lot of the emails will actually bounce because the other tools just don't have accurate information. So DNB I found to be much more accurate compared to the others. And bouncing off the idea of finding the right decision makers, let's go ahead and give you another example. Let's say I'm going into California State University system, and then I want to find, okay, like who exactly are the decision makers, right? So I can go to the contact decision matrix, and it's gonna tell me from top to bottom like who the leaders are. So I can see the president is Lin, then I can see the senior officers, board of directors, and then I can go into each of these functional groups to see people that are working in that specific space. So if I wanted to look for IT, for example, I can look in and say, okay, who's the vice presidents of IT? And if I was selling something in the IT sector, these would be the people that I want to talk to, and I would just simply add them to my list so that I can actually reach out to them, whether it's cold email or cold calling. And so this saves a lot of time because you're not manually finding these people on LinkedIn, but you're actually just going into this thing and it's telling you, hey, these are the decision makers that you need to talk to. So everything is all in one platform. You don't have to try 10 different softwares and put it together. It's literally all in one place. And another thing that's interesting is that if you want to reach out to a company, like people expect you to know who they are before you make that cold call, right? If you're just calling down the list and you literally have not done any research on the company, that comes off as kind of spammy, salesy, and nobody's gonna want to talk to you. So on DNB Hoovers, what you're able to do is kind of just go into the company summary. It tells you who it is, and it kind of tells you like where they are in terms of like the COVID-19 impact, if they're impacted highly or lowly, right? Because that may affect whether or not someone has a budget to buy your products and services. You can actually see their spend capacity as well. So meaning that 99 out of 100 is that they have the budget to buy products and services, right? Which is crazy to know, because if you're cold calling someone, how do you know if they actually have the budget to buy your products and services, right? And if you just have this list that you just call straight down, you literally don't know, and you have to ask them on the phone and be like, hey, what's your budget? Which is okay, but you can actually just use software and they will literally tell you the likelihood of someone actually having a budget to buy. And this will save you a ton of times. You would only be going after people that actually have a budget, and you just ignore all the people that are not doing too well as a business and can't afford your products and services. And it gets pretty crazy because you can dive even deeper, right? You can see, if they're growing as a company. So instead of Googling like how a company's doing, this software will literally tell you if they're growing or not. Depending on what you're selling, you may or may not need to know all this information. And you also get, the latest news articles on what's been going on with this school or company that you want to reach out to. Why this is important? Well, everything is literally all in one place. You kind of get a snapshot of who this company is, who the decision makers are, can they buy, are they growing, are they failing, what's your positioning when it comes to sending that cold email or cold call, so that it's hyper relevant to the prospect. Instead of you just blindly calling them, you actually have something you can talk about and not be annoying as a salesperson. Okay, so I showed you that you can find the right people, you can get the research, so you have a more personalized conversation, but we can actually go one level deeper and make sure that the prospects, the people you want to sell to, are actually interested in buying your products and services today. So how do you do that? Well, there's this thing called Bombora intent. We're going to edit the search criteria, same criteria as we had before, but the thing we're going to go to is Bombora intent. You can specifically look for topics that your prospects are interested in. Right now we have 1,702 people who are in California in education with 1 million plus in revenue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type in Facebook, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna say Facebook advertising. And so when you view results, what's gonna happen is it's gonna show me all these schools and education companies that are trying to do Facebook advertising. Why is this important? Well, if I'm selling Facebook advertising services, I don't wanna call 1,700 people and get 99 no's before I get one yes, right? That's gonna take so much time and it's painful to do. I would rather use Bombora intent and only go for the people who are actually interested in Facebook advertising services. So when I make a list of all these companies and I'm cold calling them or sending them cold emails, they are already interested in what I have to sell. And so when I call them up, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we were actually looking into Facebook advertising services. Tell us more about what you do. And so now a cold call becomes a lot more warmer. They have no idea who I am, but it feels like I have the perfect timing and I'm coming in just at the right time. And it goes beyond just, Facebook advertising services, right? You can type in different things, like let's say we're looking for Salesforce CRM. 29 people out of that 1,700 are interested in Salesforce CRM. So if I was someone who's doing like Salesforce implementation, well, I'm only gonna hit up these companies who have already expressed interest in Salesforce CRM. So you see why this is so powerful as a salesperson or a sales leader. The reason really is because you're gonna be saving your sales reps so much time because they know exactly who to go after, how to find those contacts in a fast way, and you have this warm, personalized touch where you know they are interested in buying your products products and services. And so that's really the power of software in the modern world. DNB Hoovers, Bambora Intent, is able to find all these signals, put all the data together, and give it to you in a very simple way for you to use, understand, and execute on so you can generate more meetings and close more deals. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to spend time doing administrative work, you just want to sell. And so by leveraging modern software in the modern day, it's going to save you so much time and give you that competitive edge over your competitors. You might run a sales team, or maybe you're a sales professional. You're going to want to grow, right? You're going to want to get more market share. You're going to want to sell more than your competition. You want to even be in the room in the meeting before your competition even knows to contact that prospect. And so by using modern sales software, you're going to be able to get that edge. So if you're doing any type of sales prospecting, absolutely, you need to be using the right tools if you want to stay ahead and save more time. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. With that said, my name is Patrick Dang, and I'll see you guys in the next one.